please go ahead.
So you've talked about many topics and we've heard you many times on many topics, but you never told or say anything about meditation. So please tell us about that.
Yeah, I may not have uttered the word meditation, but I have talked about it many times. To me, meditation does not mean something supernatural. It doesn't mean that something miraculous or something which we perceive beyond our conscious mind. To me, meditation is not like this. And I have no claim that whatever I have perceived is correct, because there may be levels and I may be at a very lower level. So my perception may be quite in infancy. But to me, meditation is just a conscious effort to create silence around you, right? It is not something which is which requires some kind of a very high level spiritual activity. It's just a conscious effort to just sit and create a silence around you. And silence is not synonymous with no noise, because there may be no noise outside. You sit in a very quiet room, you close all the windows and doors, you turn off all the mobile, but you may be very noisy in your head. So silence is actually not a negative word. Having no noise is a negative word, but to be silent is a positive word. In other words, wherever you are, you fill yourself with silence. Instead of saying that you remove everything, you actually fill yourself with silence. And once you are in a phase of silence, there may be noises. There may be outside noises. There may be inside noises. There may be twittering of the birds. There may be wind blowing, right? There may be a horn of a motorbike which is just passing by. And there may be some noises inside as well. But you create an environment in which these noises are not disturbing you. So this is the phase of silence I'm talking about it. Just sitting in that silence, and this phase of silence to me is meditation, right? And this is possible through our conscious effort. There is a very common, saying, and we heard a lot of great people saying, get rid of your past and get rid of your future and be in a present moment and get rid of all the thoughts. Now, I have to get rid of all the thoughts. This is again a thought, right? So you can never get rid of the thoughts. But what actually we mean to be in the silence phase or a present moment is, just like in a computer, don't turn on all the windows. Just focus on the program where you are working. For example, you are drafting a letter and suddenly from your picture folder, pictures they start popping up. Or from a music folder, suddenly a song starts appearing, right? So that is what we mean by sitting in silence, that just focus on yourself and turn off all the programs. But you can't say that you go beyond a conscious state, because conscious state is like an electric wire. If you just pull on the electric wire, this fan will go, this television will be turned off. You have to be in that state of consciousness. But in that state, you focus on yourself. Focusing on yourself means, like I can just demonstrate it to you. Just sit in silence and just look inside. There are a lot of noises going outside. Some ideas will be coming in your mind, but just let them come. Just keep them in their observation, but keep on focusing to yourself. And there's a very common question that what do you mean by yourself, right? Yourself means that when you were born, you did not have a conscious mind. The only thing you had was a body and a pure consciousness. something pure. You may call it your soul, you may call it your inside, or you may call it whatever you want to call it. And that yourself was the real yourself. And some people, they give an example of a mirror. You were like a mirror. Whatever came in front of you, it actually reflected in that mirror. And through that reflection, you made a meaning out of that object which came there. But after that, a learned mind, a mind of habit, a mind which was preconditioned mind, it actually keeps on accumulating itself on that mirror. As a result, that mirror became colored. I'm not saying dirty, colored. There may be red color, there may be green color. That is what is actually preconditioning, right? Now, what I'm talking about is that when you sit in silence, in meditation, you actually come back to that plain mirror. And you slowly get rid of all those preconditionings. You get rid of all those colors which actually came on your mirror because of your journey from your birth till this time. And once those colors are off, then you become again a pure mirror. As you know, we have read in the books and we have heard our elders saying that spiritual experience is a unique experience. And if someone passes through an experience, he is not able to tell this to someone else. And even if he is able to tell to someone, the other person will not be able to understand it. But in my humble experience, whatever I have achieved after doing this simple conscious effort, I'm not attaching anything mystical with it. I'm not attaching anything mythical with it. I'm not attaching something supernatural or some powers which come to you and you start making prophecies and you start reading the faces and then you know what is going to happen. No, I'm not saying that. Whatever I think is achievable through doing this is that you come in a phase of acceptance. And that is what I have experienced. You just sit in silence daily for some time and just don't do anything and just look inside in a state of that calmness and that state of quietness and that state of silence. And during that period, when you start looking at yourself, you start understanding the nothingness in you. You start realizing your actual status and your actual relationship with this whole cosmos. And once you start doing it, a kind of an implicit understanding develops inside. And that implicit understanding, to me, this may not be someone else's experience, but to me, that implicit understanding is understanding of total acceptance. You start accepting the things as they are without actually reacting with that. Although you have to respond. Obviously, if someone has a toothache, it's a terrible pain. And he has to respond to it. He has to take a medicine. He has to go to a dentist. Right? That is not reaction. But a person who is in a phase of acceptance will not react to it. He will respond to it. So whatever is happening around you, this meditation, to me, the benefit of this conscious exercise or a conscious effort or a conscious work has been that slowly there is an inside understanding of complete acceptance. You look at the people the way they are and accept that. You look at the phenomena around you as they are and you expect that, you accept them the way they are. And this acceptance actually brings you, in my opinion, brings you in a harmony with the universe around you. It is just like that in a sea, there is turbulence, and that turbulence is you. But once you just leave yourself on the mercy of the tides, then you start moving with those of with those of tides, and you are in harmony with the whole sea. So similarly, when you keep on doing this exercise, slowly you start understanding your inner energies, and these energies start resonating with the energies of the cosmos around you, and then you feel a sense of oneness with it. And since it's a feeling of oneness, hence pain and happinesses, they become a little irrelevant, and you come in a state where you slowly become beyond that. In my opinion, it is achievable. So that is my understanding about meditation. And again, I would just end by saying it, that there is nothing that some people can do and some cannot do, and there are people who are actually made for that. This is a conscious exercise. This is a conscious technique, and you follow it, and to me the outcome was what I shared with you. But you never know, you may have a very, very different and unique outcome. So good luck.